Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading. It's good to see you. I haven't pulled any cards for you yet, but when I was sitting in meditation with your energy just a few minutes ago, I heard break away. Break away. And it feels like you are ready to break away from a situation that has been making you feel kind of stuck. Now, breakaway, that's a very particular word. It's different than, let's say, let go, surrender, right? Breakaway, that kind of implies that there's some force or energy. I'm hearing leap of faith required on your part. I was also getting something about your solar plexus. So it's going to take energy. It feels like it will take energy for you to break away from this thing, this relationship, situation, environment that has been making you feel kind of stuck, or like I'm hearing you're going in circles. Nothing really changes. Okay, now what's coming through is you feel like you're putting a lot of work into something, but it never changes. You're spinning your wheels with something. For a lot of you, I do really feel like this is a place. It could be quite literally an environment. I'm just hearing spaces and places. Spaces and places. But take it how it resonates. This could be a pattern within yourself that you're ready to break away from. So then I asked Spirit, how can Gemini break away from this thing? And I was shown an image of you holding a rope, and you were white knuckle gripping this rope, and then you let it go. Now, so what Spirit is saying essentially is let it go, but it feels so much more specific than that. It's not just let it go, it's release your grip on it. There's some kind of attachment that you have to it that Spirit wants you to release your grip on. And when you release your grip on this thing, person, place, thing, space, whatever it is, pattern, you will very quickly see that you were the only one holding things together. I'm hearing keeping things together. So as an example, if this was a relationship, just hypothetically, it would be like the second that you stop trying so hard to make the relationship work, you'll realize you were the only one ever trying to make it work, and you're going to be very glad that you stopped trying, right? It's that kind of energy. You're the only one holding it together. You're the only one who is as invested in this thing, whatever it is. But when you release your grip, everything will unravel. It feels like that moment where you release your grip on it, that is the moment that will be a leap of faith for you. But as soon as you do it, there's going to be this huge weight lifted off of your chest and off of your heart that maybe you didn't even realize was there. I wasn't planning on saying this because I didn't think it was connected, but Spirit is like, you've got to say this. Okay. Much earlier this morning, before I even meditated on your energy, I knew I was going to read for you since last night. So you've been, kind of in the back of my mind since last night. And this morning, early, when I was just sitting on the couch looking out the window, I saw two geese flying together. And it felt so significant, and it immediately reminded me of the Lover's card in the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, which is not the deck I'm using for you today, but that's what it reminded me of. So the Lover's card, also geese, something about the energy of geese. The spirit of geese could be significant. Or flight, right? Taking flight. So the Lover's card. It's about choices, actually. Most people don't know that. Of course, it's about relationships as well, and self-love, external love, all kinds of love. But in its most essential definition, the Lover's card is actually about choice. Knowing yourself so well that you can make the right choices for yourself, and in that sense, choose yourself in any given situation. So maybe choosing yourself in this case or in this moment, Spirit is saying choosing yourself looks like breaking away, right? Choosing to retract your energy. Stop giving your energy, or like feeding your energy into something that isn't feeding you back, right? Okay. All right. Let's get some oracle cards for you. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. This feels significant for you. I had a dream last night about a white tarantula. And this white tarantula lived in a crevice underneath of an ancient Egyptian monument. And I literally asked Spirit right before I started to record, do you want me to tell, like, is the white tarantula just for me, or should I tell Gemini too? And I heard it's just for me. But the fact that it was living under an ancient Egyptian monument, that feels very significant for you. If the white tarantula resonates, take it. But there's something about ancient Egypt. This eye, my Ankh earrings, the ancient Egyptian monument in my dream, it was like a toppled over or crumbling, oh gosh, what do you call those things? Like the tall columns with the pointed top. I'm completely blanking at this moment. So ancient Egypt, and there's also something about past lives coming through for you. Perhaps you breaking away from this situation is, I'm hearing this is an old pattern that you've lived out throughout lifetimes. Every time you break away from a situation that's not meant for you, you're resolving, you're changing your soul's timeline. Interesting. Okay. Anyway. Highest and best messages for Gemini. Message number 33. Green, heart chakra. There is a weight on your heart, I feel, because of this stuck situation you find yourself in, or stuck pattern. Again, I just feel like you may not realize the weight on your chest or in your heart until after you've broken away or released your grip on this thing. This just feels like Spirit is guiding you in big ways and small. You are receiving messages, maybe energetically speaking or spiritually speaking, signs and synchronicities, but you may also be receiving, some of you are going to receive a literal message, like a text or an email. Somebody's going to say something to you, or now I'm hearing you're going to find something out indirectly. And it's almost like in that moment, whatever that message is, that's the moment you're going to know, I'm done. I'm done. That was like the final straw. Yep, I am choosing now to release myself from this. because this message it will make things very, very clear to you. But it feels like Spirit is already kind of like laying out I'm hearing, what am I hearing? It's like setting out the puzzle pieces or paving the way so that when you do receive potentially a literal message, that's just like the final domino in a long series of dominoes that prepared you to release your grip and break away. 33 reduces to 6. Restoration of harmony. Psychic, number 48, which 48 reduces to 12, which reduces to 3. 3, 3, 3. Yeah, 3, 3, 3. Your energy and your soul knows you're already done. 11, 11 on the timer. You know you're already done. Like your soul or your energy has already broken away. That's why you're feeling a little bit like the pressure. Oh, and I was also seeing something else for you. Hang on. That's why the pressure is mounting for your physical human body right now to break away, because your soul or your energy already has. So there's a gap. There's a gap now, a bigger gap between you and your energy, you and your soul, you and your higher self, however you want to think about it. Because that gap is bigger, your human self is feeling like uncomfortable. Close the gap. So I completely forgot, but I was also getting the image of a diamond for you. And it was like the perfect, classic stereotypical kind of illustration of a diamond, almost like the emoji diamond. Well, speaking of texting, okay, so maybe some of you are going to get a text, literally. But yeah, the diamond. Perfect diamond. I feel like there is a diamond energetically in your solar plexus. You've this situation that you feel stuck in, that you're going to break away from, it is pressure. It has been putting you under pressure. And that pressure has, in a way, turned you into a diamond, right? But yeah, psychic. You know it's already done, so your ego or your human self is like, oh boy. It's time for you to catch up to your energy. I'm hearing under the gun. But you can do it. You will do it. Nature spirits, number 39. Again, 39 reduces to 12, which reduces to 3. Okay, 3, 3, 3, 3. Also more green. Ooh, yeah, connecting with nature, of course, always is helpful, but right now for you specifically, it feels like connecting with nature. And I'm hearing remembering your organic body. That will be very helpful in allowing you to move through this breakaway with greater ease. You are held, you are supported, and you are guided by nature in every way. I feel like some of you are being guided to quite literally connect with a facet of nature, like talk to a plant, talk to a tree, ask for wisdom from an animal, a goose, a spirit, for example, right? Exactly. Earth, number 11. Any way that you possibly can. Ground. If you have any major earth sign placements, maybe lean into those aspects of yourself at this time. I'm hearing sure of yourself. practice being sure of yourself. Ooh, this is a cool question. If you're not feeling so sure of yourself, maybe journal on this. What would it be like to feel sure of myself? 1515. What would it be like? Just imagine. What would it feel like in my body to be sure of myself? Transformation at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful. Beautiful, Gemini. Another winged creature. So not only the goose, the moth, now the butterfly, taking flight. I'm hearing emergence, emergence. You breaking away from this is your emergence. In the moment that you break away from it, all of the focus for you will be on the thing you're breaking away from. But in reality, from a bigger picture perspective, you breaking away is you emerging into something else. So think about that as well. Focus less on what you're leaving behind and more on what you are emerging into as a result of leaving it behind. Okay. Let's go into tarot. I am using actually Tarot of Mystical Moments for You, which is a super surreal, fluid, watery feminine deck. It's very particular. It's I find it always asks me to slow down even more than I'm trying to already. So where do we go from here? Show me Gemini. Show me Gemini's general energy, spirit. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, beautiful. You're ready to nurture yourself. You're ready to take care of yourself. You're saying to me, I've got my priorities in order now. What are those? Oh, they're rabbits. They looked like seals for a second, but it's the rabbit, which is associated with the Queen of Pentacles traditionally. You're saying, I've got my priorities in order now. I've got my all my eggs in a basket. Is that what that saying is? I know what matters to me most. I know what I want. Feeling grounded, feeling more connected to your physical body, taking care maybe of your physical health. You're saying, I'm working on my own garden. Maybe some of you want to start a garden or you have your own garden. Gardening, of course, connecting to nature. But also that could be a metaphor. Tending to my own garden now. You were trying to, symbolically speaking, maybe you were trying to grow a garden where it's almost like where there was no collaboration or collaborative energies. You maybe at one point thought you were working in union with someone or something. Maybe something appeared harmonious. But the more you've invested your energy over time, the more you've realized there's no collaboration here and there's no collaborative energy here. Or it's just not the right kind of collaborative energy for you. So you're shifting your focus to your own garden. Beautiful. Let your garden grow. Those look like tulips on her dress. 5 of Cups. Okay, so there's some emotions, heavier emotions coming up by virtue of the fact that you're realizing you're going to be walking away from something, breaking away from something. Yeah. This doesn't feel too heavy to me, though. It's kind of like you're just, It feels a little bit more like disappointment than grief, like utter grief or total loss. You're kind of, it's like you're just saying to me, well, that kind of sucks. But, but what? But what, Spirit? It's unfortunate. Oh, cutting your losses? Yeah, I'm hearing you say I'm just going to cut. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to cut my losses. The Five of Cups is also an indication that maybe you already have processed your more painful emotions relative to the fact that this has not worked out. And now any more thinking about it is just ruminating. You may, I think you're probably more ready maybe than you even realized to break away from this. There's an honoring coming from you. It's like you're starting to honor what this situation is that's not working out. You're in honoring it, you're feeding yourself because you're learning from it, right? There's no time wasted when you learn from what you go through. Let's get one more for your general energy. Page of Cups. That brings me right back to the very first oracle card, the message card. This is Spirit speaking to you through signs, synchronicities, this reading, and your own inner knowing. Same thing to me. It's like, yeah, this is you shifting your focus out of that Five of Cups kind of ruminating energy. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to listen now. I'm ready to get really, really curious about where I'm being guided next. I don't want to stay in this heaviness. So what's the challenge that, I almost just said Aries. What's the challenge that Gemini's facing? Well, Aries energy, fire energy, take me back to your solar plexus, the fact that breaking away, releasing your grip, it's going to take that kind of oomph, a moment of push on your part. Maybe working with the energy of Aries would be helpful, or just fire. What's the challenge that Gemini is facing, Spirit? Ace of Cups. Let me sit with this for just 1 second. There's an, well, it's all butterflies. Going back to the transformation card. It's all butterflies emerging from your cup, from your heart. It feels like maybe part of the challenge here is to not allow this disappointing situation to inhibit your ability or desire to give love freely. I'm hearing don't let it dim your light or make you feel scared to share your light or your love. I'm hearing some places are just not meant for you. And so, you know, it's almost like maybe don't let this moment kind of drag you down into believing that the love you have to give, the life you have to give, the energy you give, it's not valuable It was just not being given in the place where it was appreciated, right? Let's get a little bit more here. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Knight of Wands. There's that fire. I was wondering. Yep, and then let's get one more. Because, okay, this is going to be a series of events. Two of Pentacles. Okay, from the Ace of Cups to the Two of Pentacles. Okay, now what's coming through is the challenge here is taking that fiery leap of faith, harnessing fire energy and a burst of movement and momentum to get yourself out of this heavy water energy into the Two of Pentacles. Let's see if I can, let me get a little bit more clear here. Well, what you're going to be emerging into is a period of recalibration, which may feel unsteady or unstable compared to the familiarity of what you're breaking away from. So it's almost like be willing to be a little bit uncomfortable for, I mean, it's going to be a new kind of uncomfortable. You're trading one discomfort for another, right? The discomfort of being someplace that's not meant for you to the discomfort of recalibrating your energy and finding a new way. You know, the Two of Pentacles is that energy of like back and forth, back and forth. It's like walking that tightrope, right? You're trying to find your balance, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. In this context, I feel like it's a very, very good thing. You're going to be giving yourself an opportunity to find a new center point in yourself. Finding a new center point in yourself requires being willing to be wobbly for a minute, not forever. This is just the Two of Pentacles. We're in a minor card here. It won't be forever. It's almost like that moment that the butterfly emerges from the cocoon and it's never flown before in its life and it's just learning how to flap its wings, right? That's a little bit scary, but you can do it, okay? So yeah, definitely with this Knight of Wands, harness the energy of fire. What's the advice? No, why is this the challenge? Why is this the challenge, Spirit? King of Swords. Another bird, another winged creature. I think it's a sparrow. Ooh. Well, the reality of the situation just feels a little bit harsh. It's a harsh truth that you are arriving at. King of Wands. This is the female King of Wands. More fire. 1 second. Part of the challenge here is you being able to trust your second sight, I'm hearing. Your second sight, those psychic abilities that, you know, came through that psychic card. Like I said at the very beginning, it will be, within you, it will feel like a leap of faith because you don't necessarily have solid, steady ground to land on the other side of this. But that's because you're going to make it. Spirit is saying you're going to make the ground you land on the other side of this. So it's not, don't wait until You know exactly what the other side of this is going to look like. It's supposed to be a leap of faith. And you will literally create the ground you land on as you land on it. The objective truth of the situation is that you're bigger and better and brighter than what you're leaving behind. So maybe part of the challenge here is that sort of, it's like being able to wrap your mind around just how powerful you have become, how much you have evolved, and how much more you are now ready for. Let's get a little bit more specific advice, and then we'll get a journal prompt for you. Advice. Six of Swords. Moving on. Moving away from turbulence into peace. This is a very interesting Six of Swords, though. Because the anchor here is connected to the star in the sky, and she has her hand on the string. You see that? The Six of Swords, traditionally is about literally moving on, at least mentally, if not quite literally, physically moving on from a turbulent situation. And it may not be super comfy to move on, but you're doing it anyway. This figure is a cloud. It's like she is a cloud. She's not just in the clouds, she is the clouds. So this is thought. This is very much speaking to your thought patterns to me. Try to notice which thoughts are reflective of the old you. Thoughts that would feed any stuckness. Notice them, try to notice them in real time as they arise so that you can, I'm hearing, reel them in like an anchor. Oh, okay. Wheel of Fortune. I just also saw the World card, but we'll just focus on the Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like Spirit is saying, as you do that work on your own thoughts, noticing which thoughts are helpful and which thoughts are not helpful, which thoughts are feeding your old story, and which thoughts are feeding the story you actually want to be living or stepping into, right? As you do that sort of mental, I'm hearing mental repatterning, the gears in this Wheel of Fortune card, they're turning. The universe will shift in accordance with your mental shift. And I'm hearing Spirit say, leave the rest up to life. When you do that internal mental reprogramming and mental shifting, that's you signaling to the universe that you're ready to emerge. And so things will fall in place for you. Let's get one more for your advice. The High Priestess. It's everything that I said. Yep. Oh, it's beautiful. And that ship on the choppy waters below, at the bottom of the card here, it takes me back to the Two of Pentacles. Being willing to be a little bit unsteady for a second while you find your footing on new ground. It's like the High Priestess is beckoning to you, and she's saying a whole new reality lives on the other side of How would I put that? A whole new reality is waiting for you on the other side of you being willing to move through this very, very, very temporary turbulence. The turbulence of transition and emergence and taking flight and learning how to fly, right? It's so very temporary. Your intuition is guiding you every step of the way. Don't doubt that. 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And there's a goose. Saying no. Saying no to something, right? Find peace and take solace in your own energy. Yeah, reeling your energy back in. It's taking me back to what I said before again. Okay. All right. Let's get a journal prompt for you, Gemini. 36 on the timer. That was fast. Okay. What would you be doing right now if you already had what you wanted? Yeah, this is an invitation for you to kind of put yourself in the embodiment that you want. If you already broke away, if you didn't feel stuck, if you trusted yourself completely, if you had been tending to your own garden and your own garden alone for years, right? Imagine your deepest desires, your truest heart's desires. You already have them. It's already done. I mean, it's like your soul, your essence, your higher self. It's already where you want to be. Imagine what it would be like to already have what you want. Can you choose to feel a little bit more like that today? See where that journal prompt takes you. Let's get a closing message from Anatomy of a Witch Oracle. Closing message for Gemini Spirit. There's also something coming through that High Priestess. I'm hearing siren call. Siren call. Is that good or bad? Hang on. Usually this siren call has kind of a scary negative connotation, like, you know, sailors of old getting tempted to go towards the rocky shore where the siren is singing at them from. But it's a trap, right? But this feels like a very positive energy. It's the High Priestess that is emitting this siren call. You are being beckoned into the void because it is only in the void of nothing that you have access to your own creative potential. Because the void, the nothing, is clay. That is where you get to play. I did not mean to rhyme there. Closing message for Gemini. Heal. Beautiful. More transformation energy with the snake, the eye in your heart, going back to taking a weight off of your heart and healing your heart. Let's see what the guidebook says. I would invite you to quite literally have a conversation with your heart. There are a million ways to do this. You can channel, you can journal. All right. Healing is a complicated process that requires patience. Often what makes a physical scar leaves emotional, mental, and sometimes spiritual ones as well. Even after bones are mended and bruises fade, there's more to consider below the surface. To fully heal, we must respect and honor the process and allow for growth, however long it takes. Helping others heal is an exercise in offering support and understanding what their needs are versus making our own a priority. Keywords are recuperate, mend, reconcile, and rejuvenate. Okay, so this is about not rushing your own healing process, not rushing your own transformation, being patient with yourself. Maybe through that Five of Cups again, there is some part of you that has regret, like, oh, I wish I hadn't put so much into this, or something like that. Which is totally understandable, right? But again, if you learn from it, then it's only fuel for your transformation. And I love that there's a candle on top of this staff here, going back to harnessing that fire energy. There's something coming through. Hang on. Well, I'm hearing there's a light at the end of the tunnel. A light at the end of the tunnel that your heart can see, that maybe your mind cannot see right now. You will heal quicker than you think when you put no time frame on it. Okay. Thank you for letting me read for you, Gemini. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I'll be putting that journal prompt in the description box along with a bunch of others. Be sure to check them out. They'll help you to process all of this and take your inner work a little deeper. I'll see you next time. Bye.